Hey everybody, Robert with RC Archery, and you're watching Patreon only content for my Tier 2 members. So my Tier 2 members, I give a special thank you to you. You pay a little bit extra for the channel, and I want to give you extra content as well. This week, I'm going to start a new segment that I'm going to be doing that's life in the mind of me. And it's my thoughts on what I'm doing this week with archery, what I've been dealing with, what I've overcome, whatever it may be. And it's just going to dive in and give you a little bit more of an idea of what's coming up, and then give you some sneak peeks before my Tier 1 members and before my YouTube channel members as well. So you get to see the content first sometimes. You'll get to see the special content as well that nobody else gets to see. You can get to kind of pick my brain a little bit there. So in this week, what I'm going to be going over is bows. So I have been shooting a PSE Perform X for a little while now, going on a year roughly since they came out actually, so maybe a little bit, even more than a year. I had a red one to begin with, custom Admiral blue here that I ordered and came out with. And this bow is a shoot-through bow, meaning that it has an extra cage here and creates a shoot-through style riser where the arrow goes through. And you'll notice that the type of riser and the design this is what they call a reflex design. Now, reflex riser simply means that the pivot point of this grip, where you would hold it here, is actually behind the pivot point on the limbs here, on the limb pocket and where everything connects. So if you look at that, basically you're getting, a backwards C. So when you pull on it, at times, at an extreme example, you get more left to right wiggle because you're obviously pulling against something trying to go the opposite direction. So it's not quite as stable. But technology in modern times, most everyone now in bow companies, they all have these reflex risers because they're faster. You can generate more speed with them. So that makes them very appealing for the speed crowd. Marketing sells, that's what they're doing with it, right? Now, this bow itself is actually got the typical PSE limbs here where they're pre-loaded, pre-bent, where they're kind of level here and they go a little bit below parallel whenever you get it full draw with these bows. This bow is balanced a little different than the Perform X from PSE. This one's the 3D version. It'll actually tilt forward in your hand bare. The non-3D version, the longer version, will tilt back pretty much to here. It's like a normal standard type build there for you on the weighting of the riser. All that being said, I've actually ordered a new bow. I've ordered their PSE Supra Focus. The Supra Focus has a deflex riser. Well, the deflex riser is the opposite of these. Obviously, the pivot point here in the grip is in front rather of the flex point here on the limb pockets. So it's the opposite of here. So that you're looking at a C that goes the opposite way. So you're looking at one that goes here and you're pulling it the direction it's trying to go. So the stability factor left and right, and the torque, or the ability to torque the bow is harder. Stability factor is better. The speed is a little less, but again, with the efficiencies and the technology of the bows that we're getting now, the Focus is actually only 10 feet per second slower than this Perform X, and they're still blazing fast. I mean, you're not looking at a drop in speed that's gonna kill you. It's crazy. So the limb pockets are a little different. The limb pockets on here are actually angled forward. The limb pockets on the Focus still have that forward angle to them. It's actually even maybe a little bit more forward on there, but the limbs itself are not coming to a pre-parallel position here. They're actually up more, and when you draw it back to full draw, it comes to parallel. So for me, that style of riser just in the limb pocket angle and the limb angle is gonna be very similar to what I had on a lot of my Hoyts that I found shot better for me with Hoyt versus the bows that had the pre-bent limbs. So it was a little bit more stable. It had a little bit more direction and energy that I could pull against. I had a little bit more consistent follow through and a little bit more consistent shot execution. So I'm incredibly excited to try that bow and let you see firsthand what it looks like, give you my first pictures, first video and reviews over that bow itself before everybody else gets it. Hopefully I will have that in the next week to 2 weeks, and you can have, full out content on it. Now, I will post some pictures and give some little teaser pics and stuff like that on my Instagram channel because again, it's generating the content, but it's also letting viewers see what I'm getting and getting an idea of what I'm looking so that'll help them with their purchases too. So Hopefully that's you as well. You're on that Instagram channel. If you're not, I would recommend going on there and following me if you have an Instagram account. It's RC Archery, just the same as this video channel here. That bow, I'm really looking forward to getting, mostly because of the D-Flex riser. I think that's going to be the big game changer for me. I've heard a lot of good about that bow from anybody that tries it. I've even heard reviews back to back versus this bow and some other bows that they outshoot everything with that Super Focus. Now, I'll have a good review coming out for you. I'll have my thoughts and shooting on it. May even try to film first shots out of the bow as far as tuning and everything goes and let you see that too. But this is this week's beginning episode of thoughts from me, and I look forward to being able to do this week to week and getting your feedback on it. Feel free to comment on the post here on this Patreon channel. Let me know if you like it, don't like it, if you have any thoughts for what you might want to have me cover in the future, maybe just for y'all as well. I'd be glad to do that. Appreciate you watching, spreading the word for me. I'll see you soon.